Hi, Capricorn. I hope you guys are doing well. Happy May. I know it's a little weird to say Happy May. Right now, there's a lot of us that are learning things the hard way. But I think a lot of us have also been extremely resilient. And I think that resilience is kind of creating a chain reaction. And with this, all these retrogrades that are happening to us that start, a couple of them start in a couple weeks, a few more down the road, we're going to get an opportunity to look at the way that we've been doing things, the situations that we've been in. My cards are upside down. The situations that we've been in. And there's kind of this reassessment that's happening so that we can make better decisions down the road. So we can, that's why these lessons happen, right? That's why with Pluto retrograde in your sign, it's been there for a while. It'll be there until 2023. So Siri. And then Saturn is Jupiter's going retrograde in your sign. Saturn is going retrograde in Aquarius, but that means that it's coming back into Capricorn for a couple of months, and then it moves back into Aquarius in December. So what does that mean? That means that all of those things that you were really uncomfortable with, that didn't quite sit with you, that felt like you knew they were lessons, you knew that there were things that you had to allow yourself to do, but because they didn't make sense, or it didn't seem possible, or you didn't really have a clear direction or a clear head to be able to make these decisions, that's all going to come back to you. Let's be honest. That's all going to come back to you. And then you can look at it like, okay, well, it didn't work out for me in this way. Now I can look at it in a different way. Let's look at the cards. We have the Two of Wands. We have the Five of Cups, and we have the Two of Cups. Now, for some of you, this is going to have to do with a relationship. For others of you, this may not necessarily be a romantic relationship, but possibly just relationships in general, how you relate to other people. There's a really big emphasis on needing to change directions, though. There's a really big emphasis for you on not continuing down the old path that you were going down, because you can see the restrictions within it. You can see that it wasn't working for you. It just, and why wasn't it working for you? Because when you don't have it, everything falls apart, right? If something is for you, it's going to make your life easier. When something is not for you, it's either going to be taken away from you, or it's just going to generally fall apart, right? So the Magician and the Eight of Cups. That's just the law. That's just nature. That's the law of nature. It's a law of gravity, right? What goes up must come down. And with you creating the new life that you're creating and focusing on yourself and trying to let go of Five of Cups, of that relationship, or and it doesn't have to be a relationship necessarily with a person, a romantic person, but it could be a relationship that you had with your best friend, or it can be a relationship that you had, or, you know, the bounds of your relationship, the boundaries and the restrictions that your relationship maybe had in the past, and you don't want to do that anymore. As you create a new path, and as you create, you start to bounce back, but you have to walk away from all of those things, from all of those instances that weren't serving you, that create this Five of Cups feeling, right? Five of Cups moving to the Eight of Cups. Let's see the direction that you're supposed to go in with the Two of Wands The Two of Wands is about needing to make a decision. The Two of Wands is being at a crossroads. And I think that you really have an opportunity. Okay, this might have to do with a Virgo. What am I doing about the Virgo? Well, the thing with earth signs, Capricorn, the thing with earth signs, and you guys do the same thing. When you guys will be loyal sometimes to a fault. Earth signs, just in earth sign culture is being loyal sometimes to a fault. But when you realize that you have to release something and you're just done, you do it. Boom, cut off, no more, right? Doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. That's just, that's how we, and I say we because I'm a Virgo, right? So earth sign culture, that's how we do. That's the way we do things. If this has to do with a Virgo, if this has to do with having to make a decision on whether you're letting the Virgo go or not, if they are not creating a safe space for you right now, it's time to let go. If this has to do with a water sign, there's definitely something about having to either release the expectations that somebody's going to show up for you or just move on, go on with your life. You cannot force somebody to show up for you. You cannot force somebody to be there for you if they don't want to do it, and then you can't force a person to do that, right? So the Queen of Cups on the Five of Cups, if this has to do with a water sign, or somebody with just heavy water in their chart, I mean, there's like some regrets that you have. And if it's not a water sign, then you're just super emotional about the things that you know you're having to release. And some of that may have to be a relationship, a romantic one. And for some of you, you don't have to release it, but maybe change it in some way. Something has to change here. You can't keep doing the same thing because you're creating a different life for yourself. The Magician down here, right? You're creating a different life for yourself. And if people aren't going to be on board, ooh, the Death card on the Two of Cups. People aren't going to be on board, then it's over. And you can't beg for people to be on board. Those who are supposed to be on your journey and who are supposed to be backing you up they will show up in your life. And the ones that aren't going to show up, or they're going to fall away, or it's going to become really, really uncomfortable. And that's what Pluto is definitely going to be affecting the way you guys do relationships, because Pluto will be retrograde. Now, retrogrades, Jupiter will be retrograde, Pluto will be retrograde, Saturn will be retrograde. So like the united three, the united front is going, they're all going back, they're all going to be retrograde. What does retrograde even mean? It means that the planet gets closer to Earth. So the energy is stronger. Okay? And with all of that, I mean, it's we're basically rewinding the year. Going back to where we were in January. Are we going to allow these things to happen again? Are we, and I don't even mean just with the pandemic stuff. I also mean, are we going to allow ourselves to get back into the patterns and the relationships that we had pre-pandemic? Because we're going into a time and an era and an energy where there aren't going to be a lot of detours for you to take. Because usually I say we have free will, we can take detours to get to our journey, to get to our passion, but there are some people that are being fast, like I was a fast-tracked kind of person. Like, boom, wake up, here we are, and then fast forward, right? So that I could start fulfilling my purpose already, damn it. It's, trying to wake me up for years. And so that's sort of what's happening to you guys. It's like, there's no more lingering There's no more lingering what ifs. There's no more lingering, how do I do this? How do I do that? You don't know the whys, the whens, the hows, the whos. You don't know anymore. And that's why I said, if the people that are going to be for you, they're going to show up. And the people that are not for you, they're going to fall away. Because we're not meant to figure it out anymore. We're just meant to do it. There's no more figuring it out. You see? Let's see what the Eight of Cups is, and then we'll chat for a second. I feel like some of you need to drink more water. I'm very dehydrated doing your reading. Okay. And I think that some of you are ignoring the change. You feel the discomfort, and the discomfort is going to get harder and harder and harder to deal with as the summer months go on. The Seven of Cups on the Magician. This is the who, what, when, where, how, and why. How am I going to manifest that, Betsy? How do I start my own business? How do I do this? How do I do that? How do I go about this? How do I go about that? No, we're not asking the who, what, when, where, why questions or how questions anymore. We are just doing, and we are feeling our gut instincts, and we are allowing ourselves to accept that even if this seems like a really bad idea to do, even if this doesn't seem, I don't mean it like that, even if this doesn't seem the most logical to do, we're going to do this anyways. And the reason why is because in your soul, in your gut of gut, in your knowing, you see the shift happening. And you know that's the direction you have to go in. Four of Cups on the Eight of Cups. Please don't ignore. Don't ignore the things that are holding you back. That Four of Cups makes me feel like some of you know that you've had to walk away from a situation for quite some time, and now you're just apathetic to it. Now you're just sort of stuck in it, or you're sort of in this limbo, right? And you're like, but I'm looking for that sign, and I'm looking for that shift, and I'm looking for that time frame, that I'm looking for the perfect time to do it. And I'm telling you that it's now. Now's the time. You could be dealing with a Leo energy too, that's helping you shift your energy a little bit and helping things be a little bit brighter and better and fresher, right? So that Wheel of Fortune with the Sun and the Strength card. But for most of you, this energy, this Wheel of Fortune with the Sun and the Strength card, this is you creating your own path through the Magician, regardless of the confusing aspects of it, regardless of the fog that you may be seeing right now. You're still moving ahead. Now, that fog is creating an apathy. And it could be, again, we have more water signs here. And that water sign is really painful. That water sign, and it may not be a water sign, it may be, and maybe this is your own feelings, right, that are hurting you. But we've got the Five of Cups here and the Seven of Swords here. Somebody's lying to you, Cap. Somebody's lying to you. And you're being lied to in the midst of a really great new beginning. And I feel like that's the most frustrating part for me, because you guys are going to be so loyal that you'll be like, well, maybe they're going to come into this shift with me, and that's just not, it's not going to happen. And I wish I didn't have to be the person to be like, oh, you can't really keep bringing these, because it's dead weight. You are dragging dead weight with you. You're dragging somebody along who doesn't build you up. You're dragging somebody along who doesn't accept you know, the riches that you are creating in your life. Because they say it's a waste of time, or they say that it's not, you know, this isn't producing anything. Why are we still here? And again, it could be a Scorpio, it could be a Virgo, it could be a Leo. I don't think it's the Leo. I kind of feel like the Leo energy is pumping you up. But then we have Gemini and Virgo down here. Water, lots of emotions. And so we have to let go of the dead weight. We can't bring the dead weight into the new era. And with the South Node leaving Capricorn, finally moving into Sagittarius, that South Node has been kicking your karmic ass for a year and a half now. And it's time for you to see where that dead weight was. And be resilient. You know? So, I love you guys. I'm not doing personal readings right now, but the next best thing is becoming a member, and that's actually the affordable option versus getting a personal reading. The members are getting really, really spoiled right now. We have a Discord channel going. I'm doing energy updates over there. I'm doing love readings over there. The top tier memberships get live member one question readings once a month, and meditations, weekly meditations. We're also doing a ritual for the Scorpio full moon this week. Anyways, no pressure, but if you feel like you need a little extra support during this time and you would like to join a really amazing group of individuals, the Fearless family is here for you. So you can join by clicking the button below this video, or you can go into the description box and go over to Patreon and become a member there too. Everybody in the tiers gets the same treatment. Like the top level gets everything. The mid tier gets a little bit less than the top. And then the bottom tier still gets quite a bit, but not as much as the mid tier and the top tier. So choose whatever works for you. I love you guys. Have a wonderful May. I will see you for your June readings. Bye.